How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. I hope you're doing well. Today, we are carrying on with more of the Backrooms and more of Kane Pixel's videos. Since the last one, I believe he's released one more, at least, I think, at least. I also missed a couple, I believe, which was pointed out to me by someone who commented called Carl Stevens. So thank you very much for that. The three videos, I believe, are the third test. There is the archive one, which I believe is an unlisted video, which was on the first video that Kane made. And there is another one as well, which I think is an autopsy, which should be quite interesting. So let's get into it. I'm not too sure if one of the, I think the unlisted one is a bit more kind of ominous. It's not exactly as intricate and detailed as the other ones have been. But as the comment suggested, he explained that in one of the videos I missed, it is a bit more descriptive as it tells what's going on. Anything? So I believe this is the one that's just kind of a bit of an ominous video. I don't think there's too much to kind of go into this. I think it is just essentially images from the back rooms, like an infinite pool. There's something very unnerving about like the faces have been like blacked out, like just a very like to hide their identity. It's very strange. So I believe this. I think this is them building the. I've forgotten what it's called now. It's like the gateway thing that it was in the second video. That essentially kind of malfunctions, but then works 10 minutes later. And it opens up a portal into the back rooms. Okay. That could have been the room that we ended up in, actually. At the end of the second video where the alarm goes off, there's a room with a window. That seems like it could be there. Null Zone 4. I don't think I can make that out. Due to something. I'm guessing it's oh. It looks like a duplicated area. Because of the, I guess it's a radiator of some sort, or something on the wall. It looks like it's kind of duplicated it. I can't make out what that sentence says though. I wonder if that's the machine as well. Okay, first video. Not very much to go off. The comment did say that there was closed captions on one of the videos. There aren't any on this, so I think this one is literally just kind of a still image kind of video. Still creepy. Okay, so once that one's done, I then kind of skipped over a couple, I believe. So everything is kind of dotted around in the way that I've done it, the order, which is a bit stupid, but it is what it is. So this one is the third test. This one has closed captions though. Let's put this one on just in case it gives us something.
July 2nd, 1988, the ASIN research facility tested its low proximity magnetic distortion system for the third time. Details regarding the results of the experimentation have not yet been released. During a press conference held in April of 1988, Ivan Beck, Vice Director of the ASIN Foundation, described the intention of these tests, stating this program, if granted sufficient backing from the United States government, will offer a solution to all current and future storage and residential needs and save billions of on property construction and management.
Just rewind that for 2 seconds. Describe the intentions of these tests stated from the program. If granted sufficient backing from the United States government, will offer a solution to all current and future storage and residential needs. So what he's saying is, because it's an infinite amount of rooms, that you can just make rooms, you can just make living spaces for it, and essentially just no longer need to build land and things. That's a bit messed up, can't lie. And then this must be the video where it blows up, essentially. Or catches fire, I should say. Failure. Okay, third test failure. So, okay, so just quickly gonna scan back to one of them. So, first contact. In the first contact video, oh, it's very loud. In the first contact video is when they essentially make first contact with the Backrooms. The test works. But it catches fire and then the video skips. See, looking at this as well, this is obviously, I don't know if I mentioned it in the last video, but this looks like a map. Kind of how they're all infinite and they essentially don't go anywhere, but they still work. Yes, so take note of the date, 17th of the 10th, 1989. Going back to this one, they try again. So, well, 4 or 5 months prior. No, it's not. So it's actually over a year from the third test to the first contact video. So that's a long time. They must have rebuilt it or kept trying and they just didn't fail. They kept failing, something like that, for them to essentially just not want to touch it. Interesting. So the plan for acing essentially was to build an infinite amount of living space, which is why they were doing it. But obviously they weren't aware of what they were getting into, essentially. Which sounds like something we would do. So, third and final video. This one was released as a recording a couple of weeks ago, I believe. This one is the autopsy report. So I wonder, before we get into this video, I wonder if this is to do with the John Doe that they found in the previous video, where he was kind of all, what's the word? Kind of like starting to grow and biodegrade. It'd be interesting to see if that's where this leads.
Subject is male, somewhere between 18 and 21 years old. I estimate that the time of death was around 5 days ago, but due to the severe tissue damage, it's hard to say for sure.
But is it? Might be. Because to be fair, on the wall, he was very kind of...
It's likely malnutrition. I was able to recover most of the digestive tract.
Nice.
So, as things start to deviate from what we would consider to be natural, the decomposition process appears to have been stunted somehow. It's like portions of the body stopped decaying and were sustained. Other areas, however, were completely overtaken by culture. So, I took a couple samples of some of the material here.
That's interesting. It looks like something's essentially growing inside him, but I don't know if this is what it looks like when you decompose, or if this is kind of part of where he's starting to decompose, but then like the doctor said that part of his body just survives essentially. Interesting.
At first, I thought it was an aggregated collection of Pseudomonas fluorescens, but it seems to be closer to a mutated strain of simple Hay bacillus, which it should be completely benign, but...
Yes, so this is the same area. It's the same person from the missing persons, I believe, video, where essentially further back, looking down into the room, he is essentially sat very lifelessly here, but with a lot of kind of decomposing and a lot of bacteria, I guess, coming off him. But again, he hasn't decomposed fully. He's not, he looks like he's only died very recently. How he got there, what he did, no idea.
Well, really,
It'd be interesting to see as well if these people that are kind of surveying him are the same people in the video.
I don't know what to make of this.
It makes sense.
Mr. Beck, may I ask where this subject came from?
I wonder what Async is up to. What? Interesting. Let's go back through this TV segment. See if we can break down some of the stuff. Because if you notice, there was a very quick section of the John Doe from the previous video. There was also at one point a lot of writing. Like, who's that, for example? That could be somebody. Might be nobody, might just be a random face. There was two people. Twins, maybe? Identical? Or it could just be two images. I got one image copied. One does have slightly red eyes, though. That could be something. A lot of them kind of just look like nonsense pictures and just noise. That one is obviously still of the actual the portal, if it will. Don't know if it's called a portal, but we're gonna keep calling it a portal for now. There it is. That's the image of the John Doe, which you've seen before. President. A lot of kind of molecular stuff. Could be related to the bacteria. All serious engagement in the something. This environment was never something. Ruined for mankind. Would be to condemn. Something, I think it's like to maintain something, delusion would be to condemn it. So basically what they're going to say is that if they keep using it, they're just going to have to get rid of it. Otherwise it's going to become way too dangerous. And then we end on the portal with something overlapping it. Very interesting. Very, very interesting, to say the least. Well, that was the autopsy report. Still not any closer to kind of understanding what is essentially going on, but things are kind of becoming a lot more clearer after watching that second video, where you understand what Async is planning on doing and what its plans are in the long term, which are a bit scuffed because when you don't know, they're trying to essentially get infinite space, but they don't know what it is. If it's stable, clearly it's not. Clearly it took them a long time to get there, and whether it can crash or not is not up to them. And then obviously finding that John Doe just kind of randomly in there is a bit unnerving because you don't know how he got there, how he died. If that the creature is still roaming, I don't see why it wouldn't be, especially considering it was in there before they essentially made first contact. I'm loving this. I honestly love the Backrooms. It's terrifying, but it's so interesting at the same time. And the amount of like spin-off games and videos, things like that are just incredible. They really are so good. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the video. As always, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know if you guys, if I missed anything. By all means, it will help me out, help me understand a little bit more of what's going on. And as always, I'll see you around.